Hi there, it's Nicole from Mama Elephant, and today's card features the Butterfly Kisses stamp set to create a Sympathy You Are In My Thoughts card. I've used the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers to color in the gorgeous floral images from the Butterfly Kisses stamp set, as well as one of the butterflies. I'm going to start by stamping the floral image a couple times on some Bristol Smooth watercolor cardstock. I am using the Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. This is a great ink for when you want to color with water-based markers like the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers, or markers like alcohol ink markers such as Copics. So it works for a wide spectrum of different kinds of markers. I just love it. Has nice crisp black lines. It looks great. I'm going to start coloring in my flowers. I like to use a couple of shades per color. I start with the darker color and then blend it out with my lighter color. I'm going to do this for both sets of flowers. However, I'm only going to show coloring one of them since both of them are very, very similar. I'm using the exact same colors and same techniques for both. The colors I am using are shown across the bottom of the screen for easy reference. For the purple, I'm using the light violet and purple markers. The purple is the darker color, and then I'm kind of just flicking or feathering that out from the center and then blending it with the light purple marker. For the pink flower, I guess I'll do the leaves first. I am going to go in with my May Green marker, and I'm going to trace all of the veins of these leaves with my darker marker. Make sure and get a nice base down, and then I'm going to go in with the yellow-green marker and blend that out. Each little section, if there's not enough of the darker color, I can always go back and add a little bit more. So I want to blend out that darker color and gradually get lighter. It's important when you're using these Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers to brush off that tip of a lighter color so that you don't get any contamination. So after I blend that out, I always like to kind of wipe it off on a scrap piece of paper. I'm going to do the same thing for the other two leaves. Pull out a little bit darker here, especially around where the flowers meet the leaves. Trace around all of those lines or veins in the leaf, and then go in and blend it out with my yellow-green. I love these two greens together. I think it's a really pretty, bright, kind of great green color combination for spring and summer. I'll do this last leaf over here before I move on to the other flowers, or flowers. For the pink flower, I'm going to be using the Sugared Almond Pink and the Peach Pink markers, and I can blend in a little dark pink as well after I'm done. But I'm going to start with the Sugared Almond Pink and Peach Pink. The Peach Pink is what I'm going to lay down first, and then I will blend that out with the Sugared Almond Pink marker. I'm adding some of that darker purple marker to where the leaves look like they've flipped up to the back side of the leaves a little bit, just for additional dimension. Again, I lay down the dark color first and then blend out with my lighter color to get that nice variation in each of the leaves. Once I have that done, I'm going to go in with my dark pink marker and trace around some of those areas where the light pink is next to the purple flower, just for additional shading. It's going to really kind of highlight that a little bit. So here I'm just going to go in, add some detail to those some of those little areas, and add some nice shading with my dark pink marker. Once my image is all colored in, I'm going to take the Coordinating Butterfly Kisses die, use a little Post-it tape to hold that in place, and then run this through my Big Shot die cutting machine to die cut this flower. And I'm going to do this for both flowers. The second flower I did end up not coloring the entire thing because a lot of it isn't going to be shown. So I only colored like a portion of it, which you'll see as I start to put my card together here in a little bit. I'm going to run that through my Big Shot die cutting machine. Go ahead and move that out of the way for a second. Pop that out. And there is my pretty springtime floral. Now I'm going to use a Madison Avenue, the scallop stitched frame die. I absolutely love this. And I'm going to have my florals kind of coming in from the bottom right corner and then some more along the bottom or that bottom left. I've also die cut the frame from smooth white cardstock, which is going to be the frame portion, plus I die cut it from watercolor cardstock for the inside piece. On that inside rectangle, I'm applying some Shaded Lilac and Spun Sugar Distress inks. I chose these two because they're really nice light distress ink colors, but they coordinate with the same color or in the same color family as my florals that I just colored. Where those are really bright and vibrant, I want the background to kind of blend or match that, but be much, much more subtle. So that's why I chose to color my background in with similar colors or similar color family colors, only in distress inks. But I want them to have a nice seamless transition from one ink color to the other. So I'm going to blend that where it meets. Spritz that with a little water from a distress sprayer. I always like to kind of do that it helps mute the background a little bit, adds some texture to the background and adds interest. It's really subtle, especially since these colors are so light. I'll let that sit for about 30 seconds, blot it dry with a paper towel, and then pick it up. You can definitely see some of that great distressing there. I'm going to set that aside to dry completely. I've colored and die cut my other floral. And on my background, I'm going to stamp my greetings from the Butterfly Kisses stamp set. It's going to read, "You are in my thoughts." So I'm going to stamp that great scripty U right there. Move my flowers out of the way a little bit. And stamp the additional greeting. I'm going to stamp one of those butterflies on that Bristol Smooth cardstock and color it in with the carmine red and peach pink markers, or the sugared almond pink markers, I guess I should say. Once that's colored in, I'm going to take the coordinating die, place that over there, and die cut that. Now holding my frame in place, which you can see there's a little black smudge there in the bottom left corner where one of my fingers got in the black ink and I smudged it. However, I'm going to be able to salvage this frame because one of the leaves is going to go over the outside of the frame and I can hide or disguise that. I've attached that center watercolored and panel with the greeting, and then I've only attached the frame at the top so that along the bottom I can kind of play with my florals a little bit. There you can see how that leaf is going to hide that black ink smudge, and the leaves are going to be tucked partially underneath the frame and some are going to kind of hang on the outside of the frame, and this is just to add some kind of a more fun look. I like how it looks like this so that it kind of looks like those florals are just sitting in the frame rather than framed up, if that makes sense. I am going to attach my frame now kind of carefully. Plus I'm going to take my scissors and snip off those florals along the bottom edge of my card. It doesn't have to be super neat and tidy. I'm just going to trim that where it's not going to show. That one kind of shifted a little bit, so I'll need to put that back in place and press that down so it doesn't move again. I'll do the same thing for the other floral, just snip part of that leaf off in the stem. Then I'm going to take my glue pen and go all the way around those last three edges. And then I'll place something heavy like acrylic blocks on top to hold this nice and flat while the glue dries. And finally, I'm going to finish my card with a scattering of Pretty Pink Posh sequins. I'm using the Lavender Moon and then the Sparkling Clear sequins in both 4mm and 6mm size. And I'm just going to add just a few of these, not a ton, just a few to kind of finish off the whole card design. And that is it. I love that the greetings in the Butterfly Kisses stamp set can be mixed and matched for almost tons of different occasions. You can do birthday, sympathy, hello, friendship. Just really great versatile stamp set. Thanks for watching this video showcasing the Mama Elephant Butterfly Kisses stamps and dies. The supplies I've used to create this card are listed and linked below the video on YouTube. Here are a couple more Mama Elephant videos you might be interested in. Please subscribe for weekly card baking and stamping videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.